to say how I feel, to know I let you down. These late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, heart, heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart. I feel like
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. I appreciate you being here tonight. The American Sim Racing Tour takes on Daytona under the lights and the trucks here on Turn 1. It's going to be a good time. Playoff race number 3 getting ready to fire off here at Daytona. Last week, Daniel Holloway was able to bring home the victory. Can he do it again tonight? He's going to start on the 21 truck, or in the 21 truck there in row number 3. He'll be one to watch here. So will the 92, Will Weber. But I believe he is leading in points at the moment, so we're going to keep a close eye on that driver as they, as I mentioned, get ready to go here tonight at Daytona. Chris Akers on the pole. We talk about the 29 truck fairly often, and yeah, he is guaranteed to be quick here tonight. And they get the right drafting partner paired up there, and it's going to be a show to see. Eddie Morse is going to start on the outside row number 1. Sean Stevens inside row number 2. Chase Greer outside row number 2. As we mentioned, Daniel Holloway, Gibson P, Russ Hancock, Will Weber, Ethan Horst, Tyler Hurt, your top 10. Looks like Todd Poston, Carl Lingle, John Bell, DJ Manish, Brianna Laurent starting 15th. Guy Braco, Kirby Caputa, Jeff Carl, and Frank Ranger, your top 20. And then Martin Tuck, Rob Duvadek, Ed Smith, Ambrose Nebel, and Matt Binky. Gonna round out this 25 truck field as they get ready to roll off pit road here and go green flag racing under the lights at Daytona. Again, want to thank everybody for tuning in to Turn 1, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, YouTube, wherever you like to consume your racing content. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you say hello in the chat, monitoring that all night long. Pace trucks leading them down the backstretch for what will be the only warm-up lap here. Will be green flag this time by, or this time next time by in this same position. Jeff By, hey, good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, it is racing time. The American Sim Racing Tour getting ready to kick it off here. Playoff race number 3 at Daytona. Always a good Monday night with this group. Live on Turn 1. Over on Facebook, we made an announcement earlier today about some racing coverage coming to you live on Tuesdays. Stay tuned for more information about that. I'm excited to get you up to speed on what that's going to entail, but ultimately, Turn 1's going to be live tomorrow night with some more racing with the Downforce Racing Series right here on Turn 1. Really excited to talk with that group and work with them over the next 14 races, so 14 weeks and 14 races here. The pace truck, though, is going to duck down pit road, and we're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Chris Akers, Eddie Morris, we're going to bring them all the way down, and the green flag is out. We're playoff racing at Daytona. Free and clear as we get them wound up, come down the backstretch for the first time here tonight. Eddie Morris on the outside. He's got Daniel Holloway. I'm sorry, that's not Daniel Holloway. That's the 40 truck right there of Chase Greer with him, locked in tight. Morris here has a consistency about him that lets him be pretty strong at points, but not as many wins as he'd like to see, so we'll keep close tabs on that 8 truck. He's in prime position to make something happen here tonight before it's all said and done. As they come around the complete lap number 1. Chris Akers, on the other hand, he's got a lot of friends in the field, and he's done a lot of pushing this season, but does he now get the chance to bring home a checkered flag here during this playoff run? They've only got a few weeks left of racing action, so every race is going to count from here on out. Clean and green as they roll down the backstretch here. Lap number 2. 100 laps of racing action here, with stages, I believe, at lap 25 and 50. We will see these guys come down pit road around lap 20 to 25 for fuel. So guaranteed to see some stops. Last week went the flag fully green. And the playoff strategy played off huge for the 21 of Daniel Holloway. We'll see if he's got that same speed here in the trucks. He's currently riding around on that inside line, just behind Sean Stevens back there. That 21 truck is hanging out in line. Now, you get that 21 and that 29 together, you're going to see a party happen here before your eyes. And I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. Side by side, the entire field, 25 trucks. Everybody together here. In a blink of an eye, you see them go by. This is about 12 trucks here, side by side. As we see now, Eddie Morris is going to move down and take the lead off the nose of the 29. That's going to leave Holloway out by him. Sorry, that's not Holloway. That's the 40 there of Greer. That's going to leave him by himself, but he's going to have a little bit of help back there. Looks like that is the 7. He's going to try to make something happen here. Firmly expect to see those two be a factor here, but that inside line really looking like it's working. Now all of a sudden that outside line is starting to come apart. There's even a third line starting to come together. All of a sudden now that third line, or that outside line, is deteriorating. Eddie Morris continues to lead the inside here, lap number 5. It's Morris, Akers, Stevens, Holloway, Hancock, your top 5. Some very familiar names up there early, as we talk about each and every week here on Turn 1. These super speedway races lend themselves to, you've got to be one of two places really to have any type of hope here towards the end of this. As you see now, the 40 truck starting to move up on the outside. He's going to have some help with him. I believe that's Russ Hancock with him there. That is not Russ. I apologize. Let's take a look here. Is that Will Weber? That may be Mr. Weber back there with him. I believe so. I believe that is Will in the 92 truck. That is with the 40. Now we look back up front, though. And now the 29. Oh, out of shape is the 40 a little bit there, but the 29 has moved up to take that outside lane. Eddie Morris now left on the low line. Can Chris Akers shake something loose on the outside? As we were talking about, through these super speedway races, you got to be one of two places. You want to be up front and out of trouble. If you're leading, oh, we got a truck in the wall. Looks like they're going to keep it green. Oh, but no, we got several trucks slow here. That's going to bring out the caution. I believe DJ Maddish may have missed that, but Ed Smith involved. Also, it looks like Martin Tuck involved. I think it was a little bit of a conglomerate of events to bring that out. We're going to be under caution here for the first time. Lap number 7 at Daytona. So either you want to be up front where you're free and clear of all the drama. You want to be the first 2 or 3 trucks up there and kind of cruising. Or you want to be deep in the back. And by that, I mean you want to be 15 seconds off the pace, you know, with a group with you, but ultimately you're just hanging back and riding around. Those are the ways to avoid the trouble around these super speedway races. But right now, Eddie Morris is your leader. Sean Stevens, Daniel Holloway, Russ Hancock, Chase Greer, your top 5. Also looks like 5 trucks involved here in this first caution. Let's take a look here. It looks like Ambrose Nebel may have had a hand in this here. Oh, he just had nowhere to go, riding around on that outside line. Oh, it gets congested there, and he's going to lose it. Not how he wanted to see that play out. Looks like Kirby Caputo also may have been involved. Let's see if we can get another angle of this. Yeah, it looks like just trucks kind of going everywhere. And that's unfortunately going to take some fast trucks backed into the pits and consume one of their only fast repairs. That's right, this league here with the American Sim Racing Tour does allow 1 fast repair per race. Some of these drivers are going to have to use them a little early here. Not ideal for the strategy here, as we are under caution for the first time tonight at Daytona. Lap number 8, we're going to step aside just a moment as we see pit stops are going to start to happen here. These drivers are going to come down to give fuel. You're watching Turn 1. Caution number 1 of the night here. Lap number 10 coming to a close as the pace truck lights are off. Daniel Holloway out front. I'm not quite sure what may have happened there with the 8. Came back down pit road here. Maybe an extra splash of gas or penalty or something. Either way, the 8's now sitting back in 12th. And just like that, the Candyman himself, Daniel Holloway, last week's Talladega race winner, now back up front in row number 1. Sean Stevens outside row 1. Chase Greer, Russ Hancock, Tyler Hurd, Gibson P., Todd Poston, John Bell, Ed Smith, Matt Beakey, your top 10. Let's take a look here. This may be a little bit of a strategy call. Looks like Chris Akers is also towards the back of the field. Came back down pit road lap 9. So we'll see what all this means for the Candy Shack boys. In the meantime, they're going to get the restart zone, and the 21 is going to get them rolling. Back green flag here on lap 11. Looks like everybody rolling good as they come down to turn number 1. You hear me talk about it each week, but it's going to take up to 2 laps here. Not 21, but up to 2 laps for these drivers to get up to speed here. These long 2-mile-plus super speedway racetracks require a tall gear in these trucks. And it's going to take a while to get them wound up. But when they do, they're going to be hitting these corners at nearly 200 miles an hour. Daniel Holloway leads on the bottom. He's got Chase Greer with him. So they're going to come across the stripe here. Holloway's going to be credited leading that lap. Now, let's talk a little bit of strategy. If it were to stay green here, these drivers are going to be good till right around lap 35. So they're going to be able to race through the stage. It's going to be really important to put yourself in the right position at the right time. You won't have to rely on the pit strategy to be the key component, because you've got fuel to make it through to lap 30. That's if we stay green this entire time here. In the meantime, Sean Stevens on that outside line trying to challenge that inside road just a little bit. He's got Russ Hancock with him. Oh, Daniel Holloway goes for a ride. And Holloway, a lot of damage to the nose of that truck. That may have been off the bumper there. I'm not of Russ Hancock, but I'm not sure. It looks like Todd Poston also may have had a little bit of an issue. Let's see what happened to Todd. He was coming off of pit road. Nothing to see there, I don't think. But man, did Daniel Holloway go for a ride. And unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of track position and time, and also going to have a damaged truck. He's out there by himself. I saw things flying off that machine. Oh, yeah. The whole left front is off that 21 truck. Now he's got to decide what to do. He's obviously going to be down on power, down on speed as he comes down to get that fast repair. Or does he try to stay out and see how long he can keep it running? But ultimately, the 21 truck, not the night he wanted to see. In the meantime, out front, Sean Stevens is now assuming the lead on that bottom line. Russ Hancock outside row 1. Tyler Hurt, Chase Greer on the push. These trucks jockeying around here for position. Everybody tried to find a spot that works for them. Not only does handling's a factor here at these super speedway races, but just as important is who you're dancing with. You've got to have, if you know you're a good push, or if you know you need to be pushed, you've got to communicate that. You've got to work with people around you to let them know, hey, I don't feel like I'm comfortable leading, but I will push you for a while, and vice versa. And understanding that, really, you've got to go all 100 laps here to win this race tonight, so no point in trying to be over-aggressive or to potentially cause any issues. Find somebody that you're comfortable working with, that you know can ride the bumper well, and stay with you. And that's what you're going to need to have here to be successful at Daytona. And this long 100-lap race. Take a look here. Daniel Holloway, he's not come down pit road. He's actually just coming off of turn number 4. While the rest of the field here is coming down just about a quarter down the backstretch at that time. So something to keep close eyes on. Holloway is going to most likely lose a lap before they cycle back out. Not the night the 21 was looking to have here. In the meantime, though, that 343 truck looking pretty snazzy out there on that outside row as they get ready to pick up. I believe this is going to be the lap down truck of Todd Poston as they roll into 1. Where does Todd elect to go here? Because he's got to try to stay out of their way. He's going to go to the high side. It's going to get tight here with our leaders as they come off the corner. And they're going to catch them just right. Down the backstretch is the best place to make that pass happen. And it looks like the majority of the field's going to get by him. And there you have it. Able to cleanly get by. Stevens, Hancock up front. Greer and Hurt, like I mentioned, on the push. Looking pretty good. That inside line starting to get a little long. The outside line starting to unravel just a little bit. We saw this happen earlier, and it really just seems about what drivers are out there. We see the 16 and the, who was that? The 16 and the 3 kind of all over the bumper. And now the 343 is going to move down to the bottom and join the 27 truck on that inside line. See a truck down their way on the apron, letting the field go by. Hancock's going to lead from the bottom for the first time here tonight, with a push help from Sean Stevens. As we were talking about earlier, normally this is where we'd start to see a little bit of pit strategy come into play, right around lap 18 through 22 or so. But tonight we had that early race caution on lap number 7. The entire field came down and topped off on fuel, so they're going to be good to go here for about 10 more laps. I would expect to see most of these drivers down pit road by lap 35. I don't think you've got anybody that can go beyond lap 35. If you do, it's going to be somebody that's going to be running towards the back, kind of half throttle, enjoying the draft. But these guys up front here, the Hancocks, Sean Stevens, John Bell, maybe even Chase Greer, Matthew Beakey, who, by the way, or Matt Beakey, who was way back there tonight. He's up 17 spots, currently running 8th. Oh, it's going to get a little dicey through here. Trucks in the wall. Trucks going down pit road. Everybody taking evasive maneuvers. And that's going to bring the caution out. We had a truck full speed down pit road. And Frank Ranger trying to dodge, but man, that got sporty. I think this all started right here around Ed Smith. Let's take a look. Oh, everybody was just looking for a place to go, and wow, I think somebody got ran over back there. The one car got spun into the wall and then got hit again. That's unfortunate. Not the way they wanted to see that play out. Well, pit strategy out the window. And you know who's really thankful to see that caution come out? We were talking about it just a little while ago. How about the 21 of Daniel Holloway? Had a big upset coming off of turn 4. Had a little bit of help. Now he's going to have a chance to get caught up. He didn't go a lap down. He's going to have a chance to get caught up, get repairs on that 21 truck done, and be back in the running of this here before it's all said and done. Russ Hancock, Tyler Hurt, Sean Stevens, John Bell, Chase Greer, your top 5. You're watching Turn 1. Second caution of the night about to come to an end here, lap number 23, and we've got a lead change once again out front. Rob Dubadek did not come down pit road, neither did the 8 of Eddie Morris and the 92 of Will Weaver. So that's going to play into this just a little bit here. These three drivers have not been down pit road. They will have to come here in about 10 to 15 laps. Everybody else behind them has taken service. The 99, the 8, and the 92, we're all betting on another caution here. And the green flag is back out. Dubadek gets them rolling. This is a brave strategy. This is something to see here. Does it pay off for the 99? We're going to find out. They need another caution in about 10 to 12 laps. That's what they're betting on. And really, that's where they're falling. They're falling about every 10 laps or so, every 7 laps, 8 laps. So this could play in his favor, but it's got to go long enough that everybody else will need to come down with him. Free and clear. Up front, it's getting a little dicey towards the rear. We saw several trucks through 2 and 3 wide. Another truck up against the wall here with Chris Akers running 15th. He's going to try to find a place to settle in. Daniel Holloway saved himself again. He was the one that was really excited to see that caution come out this last time because he didn't go a lap down. He was able to get the 21 truck all fixed up and ready to roll here. In the meantime, out front, Dubadek's got the push for Will Weaver. Eddie Morris on the outside's got some help by Russ Hancock. We talked to Rob a couple weeks ago. Oh, we got a truck under the wall. Looks like it's going to stay green. They're going to keep that truck rolling. But we talked to Rob a couple weeks ago about this has not really been the season he wants. We've seen the 99 kind of back in the pack quite a bit, and unfortunately caught in a lot of incidences this season. But now that we're playoff racing, he's got to turn the wick up a little bit. And I think this is proof that 99's here to come and play big ball with the rest of these drivers, with the 21, the 29, and the 343, and those guys. He's ready to show that he's got what it takes to get it done here at these super speedway races. And right now, doing a fine job leading right here on the bottom. He's got Will Weaver right there with him. Again, Eddie Morris on that outside. He's got Russ Hancock. And then on that inside, Sean Stevens, Tyler Hurt, John Bell, Chase Greer, Kirby Caputa, Gibson P, your top 5 or your top 10. As they roll across the stripe here, lap number 27 of 100 here at Daytona. We're going to have to deal with some lap traffic coming up here in just a minute. And that lap traffic's going to duck down. That's Guy Braco in the 1. We saw him really get tore up earlier. Had a pretty hard impact. But really, all but one truck running here. Frank Ranger has pulled it down into the pits. Everybody else currently going. Only 2 trucks on a lap down. That's Todd Poston and Guy Braco. Otherwise, everybody on the lead lap and running strong here at Daytona. Again, that pit strategy working out for the 99, the 8, and the 92. They are up front because they did not come down pit road this last caution. They stayed out. They took fuel on lap number 9. They actually came down a second time during that cycle, that first caution. Came down and got fuel for these cars. And now we're seeing this, a little bit, it gets a little dicey right there. That's Hancock and Morris. Morris now moves up in front of the 99. But we see this pit strategy starting to come to fruition for these drivers. They've not been down pit road since lap 9, and here they come. I knew it had to be soon. This feels a little early, though. But nonetheless, these 3 are going to come down pit road here, lap number 29. And that is going to cycle the lead out to John Bell. He's up front. He's got Chase Greer with him, and now that inside line's going to get rolling. That's Russ Hancock. And Tyler Hurt down there with a strong push. And there goes the 343. That bottom line, especially with the right folks, the right combination, seems to be the most dominant line here at Daytona. At Talladega, you can see oftentimes 3 lines of drivers kind of making things work. But here at Daytona, not quite. You're only going to see usually 2. And that bottom line is going to be a hard to beat. Chase Greer now. Use that top line to get by the 343, and all of a sudden Greer and John Bell up front. John in that 3 truck leading for the first time here at Daytona. He's up 12 spots on the night, started 13th, has worked his way through the field, playing it smart now, leading the pack on that inside line. Now our top 10 looks a little bit of a little different than it did just a little while ago. John Bell, Russ Hancock, Chase Greer, Tyler Hurt, Foggy P, Matt Beakey, Sean Stevens, Gibson P, Jeff Carl, and Kirby Caputa, your top 10. Those drivers that just came down pit road, that was led by Eddie Morris, Rob Duvidak, and Will Weber. They're all together here, single file coming down the backstretch. They want those trucks to be as skinny as they can be because they want this. They want to see this race run for a while here. Green flag conditions, but this pack of trucks here are going to be significantly faster than those 3 trucks single file, and we're going to see it because they're going to catch up to them here in just a couple laps and pass those guys by, potentially put them a lap down. Now, with that being said, though, this pack of drivers will have to come down pit road here in about 8 laps. Again, about 20 miles, about 20 laps to the tank is about what they're going to get. So a lot of pit strategy plays into these races here as things are really starting to get a little dicey up front. Chase Greer up there. Now they're all getting tangled up. Chase Greer nearly goes airborne right in front of the field. Everybody's wrecking. Several trucks involved. And that was all right there with Chase Greer. Who else was involved in that? Goodness gracious. That was a really unfortunate to see that. John Bell was there in the mix of that. Tyler Hurt, a couple others, but boy, that tore up a lot of trucks down the backstretch. That is the caution that the 92, the 99, and the 8 wanted to see. They have not been off pit road. They've not been off pit road only 5 laps. They're going to cycle back up front if they don't come down here. But now all of a sudden, Jeff Carl, your leader, John Bell, Russ Hancock, Tyler Hurt, Foggy P, your top 10, or your top 5 there. We're going to step aside for just a minute. Pay some bills. We'll be right back under caution for the 3rd time. Lap number 33, you're watching Turn 1.
Chasing somebody who won't
Jeff Carl, Kirby Caputa, Sean Stevens, Foggy Pete, John Bell. Your top 5 here. Ambrose Debble, Carl Lingle, Brianna Laurent, Matt Binky, and Ed Smith. Your top 10. Everybody getting ready to go back green flag racing here. And I called that wrong. I thought we were going to see the 8 and the 99 and the 92 stay out. But instead, they decided to come down pit road that last time by as they get ready to go back green flag racing. So everybody now back on the same sequence. Jeff Carl's going to get them rolling. And the green flag is back out here at Daytona. Carl gets that inside line, rolling the outside. Starts to come unraveled. Really only 3 trucks up there contending at the moment. Jeff, Carl, Sean Stevens are connected. Oh, the caution's out. What do we have going on back here? Whatever it was, it did not show up on the incident count. I'm not sure what brought this caution out here, but Jeff Carl's leading. Sean Stevens, Kirby Caputa. Your top 3s are going to get caught back up behind the pace car. Looking around, I don't see really anybody mixed up in anything here. Either way, the caution out now as Jeff Carl catches back up with the pace truck. Under caution for the 4th time here at Daytona, the American Sim Racing Tour, live with playoff race number 3 right here on turn 1. Coming up on 10 laps to halfway. Sean Stevens, Tyler Hurd up front. Jeff Carl, Kirby Kabuta, Ambrose Nebel, your top 5. A little bit of a varying strategy here. Stevens has not been down pit road since lap 33. Tyler Hurd, 34. Then a bunch of 37s. And then we had even some 38s back there. That was Daniel Holloway. Maybe he knows something we don't. He's going to take an extra splash of gas here. These drivers now would be, technically most of them would be good all the way through to lap number, well, close to lap 60, probably right around 58 or so. But these drivers will also be racing pretty hard for those stage points that will be awarded here, I believe, after lap 50. We're getting ready to roll here as they pull out of turn number 3. Those pace truck lights are off. I mean, he's gonna duck down pit road here. Under the lights at Daytona for the American Sim Racing Tour playoff race number 3. Sean Stevens up front, Tyler Hurd outside of row 1. They get to the restart zone, and the green flag comes back out here on lap 40. Free and clear on the start. That inside line didn't get the jump as much as they have been. That outside line's got a number of trucks out there. About 7 rows back. The 99 of Duvidak is back there. Keep in mind, he led some laps here. And he's in that precarious position. You heard me talk about it at the top of the broadcast, how these super speedway races, at times, as we see a lead change there, that's Tyler Hurd dipping to the bottom. But, you know, you want to be on one end of this field or the other, not really in the middle. And the 99 has had some incidents all season long. As we see Tyler Hurd now move up high, try to block the run. Who is that? That is Kirby Caputo on the outside. Tyler Hurd trying to control both lines here. You don't see that be too successful, especially in these trucks. And now Caputo's going to be equal with him on that high line. This drafting package makes it hard to control lines. You know, 10 years ago we would see, especially in the Cup cars, those leaders kind of bounce back and forth, try to control both lines, slow them down, speed them up, etc. But here nowadays, that is not a factor as much as it used to be. And Caputo should have moved there, but he did not. And he was going to get clear of Tyler Hurd, but just hesitated. And now they were 2 and 3 wide back there. Jeff Carl got hanging on that third line. There was nowhere for him to go. Now Caputo's going to fall all the way back to third on the inside line. Just a little bit of hesitation out of Caputo there on that 83 truck, and you see what that cost. Now he's going to go back to the high side. Jeff Carl's going to pick it back up, going to try it again. Sean Stevens holding line back behind Tyler Hurd, but I wondered if he was thinking about going to the high side there for a minute. Oh, they're going to scatter out. Big trucks are sideways. Several trucks went for a ride through the infield there, the backstretch. And Caputo down on the bottom. Tried to hang on. He got back to the lead after the whole field got scattered out there. Oh, and there it is. Tyler Hurd into the wall. That's in front of the whole field. Several trucks involved, but boy, Akers is going to scoot by. I think Rob Duvidek did as well. Kirby Caputo up front. Sean Stevens, Jeff Carl, Fog P, and Tyler Hurd, your top 5. Oh, we got a truck still sliding under caution here. That's Tyler Hurd. Out of shape on the caution. Nonetheless, under caution here now for the 5th time. Lap number 44. We're going to step aside. You're watching turn 1. Pace car lights are off, getting ready to get back. Green flag racing here, 4 laps before halfway. And Chris Akers out front with Kirby Caputa, Jeff Carl, Chase Greer, Daniel Holloway, your top 5. Akers been riding around in the back for a good portion, got off sequence a little bit. Now, looking to capitalize on some points and some positioning. The 29 truck always seems to find his way to the front, and tonight's no exception. Pace truck heads down pit road. And there you got it, the green flag back out. The 29 gets them rolling here at Daytona under the lights. Nearly halfway. Side by side as they come down the backstretch. And Kirby Caputa running high on the high side. He hesitated a lap or two before that last caution. And now he's going to stay up there, but he could have moved down and took the air off the 29. But no, here he comes. Jeff Carl's got the push with Chris Akers. And that inside line's backed and rolling here. That outside line seems to have a pretty decent restart, but then just cannot really hang on to it very long. I take that back because Chase Greer and the 83 is going to make a liar out of me. Those two are hooked up and running hard on the outside. Right there, both of those drivers were free and clear of the 29. They both could have gotten clear. They can still do it if they wanted to. They're going to stay high. Oh, the 40. Oh, there it is. Oh, Akers had to check up hard. A little hesitation. They finally decide to move down. The 83 and the 40. Now Akers is going to go back to the high side. I firmly believe he had to check up. We saw the whole ripple effect through the field. Now he's going to have the 7 truck with him on the push. And the 29 was going to try to get clear. The 7 truck got loose. Maybe a little bit of a move there. A zig when he should have zagged. Akers is going to maintain that outside line, but boy howdy, like I mentioned, the 83 and the 40 are hooked up on the bottom. Greer has been pushing hard tonight, especially with that 83. And you're seeing that come to fruition here as a truck down on the apron. We got 3 wide action back here about 5th on back. That's Daniel Holloway there on the bottom. That's Will Weber in the middle. Is that Tyler Hurt on the outside? It is. Trying to hang on to it, Hurt up against the wall. Up, tight up there, still on the outside of Weber. And now all of a sudden, the 29 now down to the bottom. He's leaving that inside line. Oh, they're wrecking. Several trucks are sideways down the backstretch into the wall. There it is. We got a truck spinning. No caution yet. And all of a sudden now, the 7 truck up front. No caution here. Oh, I think this is because they're coming to the points. Coming to the end of the stage here. Here comes the 29 on the outside. Going to try to use the run. He's not going to have it. The 7 truck is going to squeeze by. And there it is. The caution's out. They're racing back to the checkered flag for points there. I believe that was the end of stage number 2. And Gibson P, I'm not sure who that is, along with Fog P, out front at the end of the stage here with Akers there as well. Everybody starting to check up. And they're going to wait for the pace truck, I do believe, to get caught up with them here. Everybody's going to check up. So we're going to be under caution, and this is going to this may mix some things up. A lot of these trucks have only been out there since lap 44. They've been out there since lap 44, so really only 5 laps of fuel on these trucks. So who elects to stay out and gain some track position to run for the final half? Or is everybody going to come down and join the same strategies? We're going to find out as everybody gets checked up here, waiting for the pace truck. Under the lights at Daytona, we're playoff racing for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on turn 1. Getting ready to come back. Green flag racing here. Lap 54. Appreciate everybody tuning in to turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Bring you playoff racing action for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on turn 1. And hey, Spencer, we appreciate the comment. Yeah, that's interesting. Those are the only 2 drivers that do it. That is, there's nobody else that has that problem. So, I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Either way, we're getting ready to get back. Green flag racing. And there you have it. Everybody's free and rolling well past halfway here to 100 at Daytona under the lights. The 7 truck gets rolling with the push of the 29. Both of those drivers, well, really everybody, elected to come down pit road with the exception of Eddie Morris, who I think was getting a lap back. But other than that, everybody rolling here free and clear. And Jeff, yeah, we see your comment. It's been a little bit of a chaotic night here at Daytona. But that's what you're going to get with Super Speedway and playoff racing. Points matter, and we've seen some tight racing here early going. But I imagine we'll see these drivers settle in. Just last Monday, we ran Talladega flag to flag, no caution. So that was an incredible race to see. But tonight, a little bit of racing action all over the place here. Gibson up front in the 7 with a push from the 29. Caputa's on the outside, but he's about 3 rows back. Not a factor at the moment. That outside group only has about 6 trucks there lined up with them. 5 trucks now. So really, and even the inside lines kind of scattered out. I think everybody's toned it down just a little bit. A lot of these trucks had been involved in an incident already tonight. Those single fast repairs that they had are pretty much gone for a lot of these drivers. So to be there when it matters most on lap 100, when that caution flag, when that white flag is going to wave and you want to have a chance to win this race here tonight at Daytona, you got to be there. And a lot of these drivers settling in here for the long run to the end. We see a couple trucks there down on the apron. In the meantime, though, the 7 truck continues to lead on that inside line, the 29 with them. But here comes Caputa, and that outside line starting to get a little bit more organized. That's the 40 there of Greer back with him. Either way, they are rolling well here. I see that 29 all over the bumper of the 7. And then on that outside line, we're going to have a little bit of 3 wide. We are going to have 3 wide. That's Greer. And then he's got, oh goodness, who is that with them right there? Oh, is that Dalton Gibson? I believe so. Kind of mixed into it now. That's not Dalton Gibson. I apologize. Nope. Forgive me. Who is back here with this group that made that 3 wide there? It may have been Tyler Hurt. Now everybody's on Jeff Carl sideways. A lot of chaos happening back towards the rear of the field. And Carl, unfortunately, a factor or a player in that's going to bring the caution out here once again. With Gibson up front, lap number 57. Chris Akers sitting P2. Russ Hancock P3. Daniel Holloway and Kirby Caputa, your top 5. Not what some of these drivers wanted to see. We expected to see a little bit of a green flag run there, but now under caution here for the 7th time tonight. They're going to get caught up, and while they do that, we're going to step aside one more time. You're watching Turn 1.
You down, 'cause late nights turn to days. Don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart. You can have it back. If it's only half.
Welcome back to Turn 1. Under caution here, lap number 60. 40 to go in tonight's playoff race. Here with the American Sim Racing Tour, right here on Turn 1. I appreciate you being here. If you're hanging in there, we appreciate that as well. If you haven't already done so, do us a favor. Either on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, wherever you're at, give us a follow, give us a like. Like the video on YouTube, subscribe over there, give us a like or a follow on Facebook. We'd greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, head on over to the chat and let us know who you're rooting for here tonight to bring home the checkered flag. Dalton Gibson, Chris Akers, Kirby Caputa, Russ Hancock, Tyler Hurt is your top 5. And the green flag back out, going back racing here at Daytona. Everybody spread out just a bit here, but the 29 is going to have the first push. That's the 83 is going to be there with him. Do they get a run here? Because it doesn't look like it doesn't look like Hancock or Gibson are together very well. Now that outside line's getting a huge shove. Here comes the 29 and the 83. I firmly expect Akers to move down here. That run starts to unravel on the inside. That's going to play well to the 29 and the 83 as they come down the front stretch. Out front on the outside by about a truck length. The 29 is going to lead that lap. Side by side as they roll down into turn 1. These trucks about up to speed at this point, but this field, at least for the most part, is nowhere near as organized as they have been. Everybody kind of sitting back a little bit. We talked about it. Jeff Carl sideways deep down there on the bottom. I believe that was Jeff Carl. No, that was not Jeff Carl. Who was that down there? Maybe it was one of the lap down trucks. I don't know who that was that went for a ride just there. It was Ambrose Neville. We saw that truck was completely sideways down the backstretch. He's got similar damage that Daniel Holloway had earlier. Oh, we got trucks in the wall. Several drivers wrecking here, including the 83. It's like Tyler Hurt's involved. Not another caution here. Some of these drivers really were looking for a long run. Let's go back and take a look. Tyler Hurt is the first truck to show an incident. Let's see what happened. Hurt there on the outside. That's going to start with Hurt. Really not a whole lot of where to go for a lot of these trucks. Not the ideal situation. Matt Bianchi involved. He's been riding around towards the rear most of the night, now involved in that caution. And as it stands, it looks like Chris Akers is going to be scored our leader here. And everybody in the top 10 was down pit road that last caution. So I don't suspect, or if they do come down, it's just going to be for another splash. But this will not get you to the end. We've learned, you've got to be, you're going to have at least one more stop after this if you were to come down. These trucks are only going to hold about 20 to 22 laps of fuel in them, so you're not going to see a whole lot of drivers trying to risk it on fuel. There's no point in it. You're not going to make it all the way, so you have to at least stop one more time after this. So what do? Last time by down on lap number 58, so that theory they could probably go lap 75, lap 78. That would probably get them close enough on a green flag run. Unfortunately, we have not had much of that here in the last 30, 40 laps, but it could materialize at the very end of this thing. Looks like they're going to come down pit road, potentially led by the 29. Nope. Yep. Nope. A little bit of games being played there, but ultimately they're going to come down pit road for tires, or at least for fuel. We'll see how this plays out. And step aside again here on turn 1. Everybody hitting the box. 29 is going to roll to a stop in theirs. No tires, as you see on the 29, and he's going to get that truck rolling. He's going to have to race the 7. Oh, the 7 may have beat him out. Everybody packing the fuel on here for the run to the end. Again, they'll have to stop at least one more time to make it all the way to lap 100. We're going to step aside once more under caution. You're watching Turn 1. Out front after the stop, stalled Gibson, Chris Akers, green flag back out here, lap number 67. Not a very aggressive start here. The 29 and the 7 out rolling free and clear, but they don't have any help. But here comes Hurt, and here comes Hurt rear. They're going to have the rest of the pack and have a bit of a run here as they come down the back stretch. Some big shoves for the leaders. The 29 leading now outside. He's going to move down. He's going to bring rear with him. The 29 now down to the bottom. Off the nose of the 7. Jeff Carl's going to pick up the lead on the outside. That truck looks a little free. Little bit of a wiggle there. And I believe that's Sean Stevens back there. Rob Dubadek moving back into the third row on the outside, but there's several truck lengths back from the leader. with the 29 on the inside, rolling it, but he's got 5 truck links back, no pressure on the outside. He's got Greer tight to the bumper. Everybody came down pit road here for fuel, so that means we're not going to see anybody here. If this were to go green, so the next time we would see stops would be around lap 85 or so. And that would be well into the window to go the rest of the way if they stay green. Now the 7's going to move out. That truck nearly looked like it was sideways. Moving to the outside line. But he got there, and he's going to have Will Weaver on the push. Jeff Carl lined up third on that outside row. Akers on the bottom. Chase Greer with him. His driver's firmly up to speed here after that restart. As we look a little further back, really after the top 6 or so, everybody's kind of spaced out and played it safe. We see Duvidex now move down to the bottom. He's currently sitting back there in 10th. As they come across the stripe here, 30 to go tonight's playoff number 3 race for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on turn 1. In the trucks here, and not necessarily going to say where it all started, but certainly where it's been some of the best racing in these trucks and the Xfinity car. Heck, there's been great racing pretty much all over the racetrack in any of the cars here. Tonight, obviously, is a bunch of cautions, but again, as I mentioned Monday night last week, they ran Talladega. We ran Talladega. White or green flag to white flag, no cautions. As the field's going to work around some lap traffic. Oh, it's going to get tight back there. Somebody poked their nose out. There it is. And that was Brianna Laurent. A couple other sideways. Guy Braco slow. Eddie Morris is caught up in that, but no caution. There it is. Caution now will come out. That was a truck who poked their nose out wide. Probably at the worst time trying to pass that lap traffic there of Ambrose, I believe it was Ambrose Nebel. Either way, that's going to bring the caution out again here in lap number 71. Chris Akers continuing to be out front here. This caution will help some of these drivers in fuel mileage, but they're not going to be able to make it the whole way, obviously. They'll have to stop one more time. Now, with that being said, under this caution, if they were to come down pit road, especially some of those folks in the back and come down with 1 to go, do you have enough fuel to make it to the end? Does it matter? Will we see some more cautions? Who knows? The only way you're going to find out is staying tuned in right here to turn 1. Gonna come across a stripe, lap number 75. Caution flag. It's got some, it's been out, let's just say that. But we're back under the green flag conditions here at Daytona, the American Sim Racing Tour. Playoff race number 3 back underway. 26 laps remaining. We're gonna see one more pit stop, I think, out of everybody. I don't know if there's a way around it. I don't think they're going to have enough to make it all the way. That would require them going basically 25 green flag laps if we were to go that long. Now, if cautions come into factor, you really need 2 of them, I think, to make up enough fuel. We'll see how this all plays out. But right now, Dalton Gibson up front with Chris Akers, Will Weber, and Sean Stevens on the push. Stevens has been up there, pushing literally anybody he possibly can here tonight. Now he's hooked up with Will Weber in the 92 on that outside row, while Gibson's hooked up to the 29 of Akers. Those two have been up front hard. Akers has been up front running pretty hard here. Got cycled back what feels like, 3 days ago, but was probably about 40 laps. But ultimately back up front here and running strong in that 29 truck. I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast about the 29. He's done a lot of pushing over the season. He's won some races, let's be very clear. But he's done just as much pushing to the win as he has. And, well, now it being playoff season, you got to go get those victories. And now the 29, just 25 laps, or just about 24 laps away from being able to see the checker flag wave here tonight at Daytona. The field firmly up to speed. Everybody rolling free and clear. Now we look at that outside line again. Weber up front there, and he's got the help with Sean Stevens. But they're going to fall back a little bit. Now the 7 truck of the 29 is going to start to break away from that outside group. They're going to bring Chase Greer in tow. And now the 7 of Dalton Gibbs is going to move to the high side and quickly gain time on the 29. Now all of a sudden the 7 truck is free and clear. Does he move down, or is he going to wait to bring Weber with him? He's not going to bring him. Dalton Gibson out front on the bottom here. 23 to go. There's a power move made by the 7 right there to get by. We'll see how long he can maintain that spot. But what a big play there to get out front. And it paid off for him. And now Akers is sitting back behind the 7 truck and really nowhere to go on the high side, while Weber and Stevens holding strong on the outside. As I mentioned, Sean Stevens has been pushing pretty much anybody up there, anybody towards the front most of the night. Kind of stayed in that second spot in each row. Right now he's latched onto the bumper of the 92. Looking to make something happen here in the closing laps. Wow, look at that that big shove out of the 29. Has got that 7 feeling like he's on rails. They're gonna gain a little bit of time now. Oh, there it is! The 29 with the pump and dump. He shoved the 7 all the way down the backstretch, pushed him way out there, then jumped to the high side. What a power move! The 29 now gonna move back in front of the 7. That was incredible. He stuck Gibson. He pushed Gibson pretty hard, free and clear of everybody, just to switch him out with that 7 truck. Now back P2. And now you see Gibson with a huge push on the 29. Even if that was arranged and these drivers are working together to make this happen, I tell you what, that was an impressive maneuver. And then now on the high line, Weber's gone. Now the 7's going to move up and try to pick up the 99. Dumadek's there. So is Kirby Caputa. And they're going to try to roll that outside. The 7 move, or the 7 use that shove to get there off the nose of the 29. But here comes the 99 of Dumadek on the high side. He's going to have the 83 with him. Weber's back there as well. We've seen Dumadek have his fair share of close calls here tonight, rolling in the back of the field when he was. But now, up front here, as they come out of 4, the 29's going to pop out and do the maneuver here. We're going to call it the maneuver because he's going to get clear. He's going to use the 99 for a pick and then jump in front of the 7. Oh, Sean Stevens really wide there coming through the tri-oval and nearly made contact with the wall. In the meantime, the 99 on the outside row 1, the 83 right there with him. I think that outside row feel like they're just being abused by the 7 and the 29. But ultimately, that's what you're going to have to do to get some passes made here towards the end of this race. The 99, Dumadek, out there nearly even with that second row truck of the 7. But it doesn't really look like that high line could get the same run going there as the bottom. We've seen those two run pretty tight here when they're all together, but only about 5 trucks in that outside line. And the 7 and the 29 have just been glued together. Whoa, the 7 gets a little loose there. It looks like he may have touched the apron just a smidge. Got him out of shape. Now the 99's alongside the 29 as they move down the backstretch. $18 to go. The 99 out front by half a truck length. The 83 with a huge push. The 92 of Will Weber's right there with him. Sean Stevens. The top 4 on that outside. Then you've got the 29, the 7. You've got the 40 truck. And then I think that's, goodness, who's that back there with them? Is that Joseph Fogg, I believe, on the inside. And they're going to have to deal with a little bit of lap traffic right here as they get ready to roll off into 1. Where are they going to move? That truck's going to stay high. They're going to catch them right as they load out of the corner. Can they get clear? Everybody's going to squeeze by, free and clean. It is side-by-side drag race down the backstretch. The 7 glued to the 29. The 83 glued to the 99. $16 laps remaining here tonight at the American Sim Racing Tour, right here live. And playoff race number 3 at Daytona. A decent green flag run here, and these drivers are going to have to come down pit road at least one more time. I would expect to see it here, anywhere between now and 10 to go. As I got to work by some lap traffic. The leaders are going to squeeze by before the tri-oval. Looks like they're going to get free and clear. Dumadek continuing to lead on that high line with Caputa, the 29 and the 7 still connected. And now all of a sudden that outside line's lost that momentum. They're going to fall back a little bit here. The 83 lost the 99. In the meanwhile, the 7, I think, is maybe looking for a run. Oh, he looked like he tried to move high there. But the 99 got a huge run. I'm not sure what the 83 is trying to do, whether if he's running hot or what's going on there, because he keeps moving in and out from behind the 99. The 7 is just going to look for an opportunity to try to get by the 29. But in the meantime, as I mentioned, these drivers will still have to pit one more time for a splash of gas. Otherwise, they would have gone 27 laps on the tank, and we've not seen that happen. really with any of the racing over the last couple weeks. So, again, I expect to see these drivers down pit road here with about 10 to go. Caputo's going to move down now. He's going to lose or ditch the 99. This may be getting ready for those green flag stops that look like may materialize here. The 99 is outside. The 27 of Sean Stevens is going to pick him up, but obviously not as strong of a run there. Let's take close eye on this inside line. Does anybody elect to come this time? They do not. There's only 5 trucks on the outside, one of those being a lap truck. So how does this all play out with these drivers? That's the 30 of Carl Lingle now. Starting to move up into the picture is Rob Dubedak, looking for all the help he could get on the push factor on the outside. Here comes Stevens with him. The 7 is not tied to the bumper of the 29. That's going to give Dubedak a little bit of run here. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch as they roll through 3 and 4. 13 laps. Well, really 12 laps as they hit the stripe. Left to go here at Daytona. And fuel is going to be a factor. The 99 gets a run. We talked about it. Sean Stevens has been pushing everybody up front. And now that's paying off huge for the 99. He's able to get clear of the 29. Now he's controlling that inside line. Only 2 trucks outside. That's Carl Lingle, Sean Stevens. Stevens has been basically everybody's extra horsepower tonight. Wow, the 29 is glued to the bumper of the 99, boy. That was pretty tight coming down the backstretch. When do they come? They're coming to the stripe with 11 to go. What happens? There it is. Your leaders are going to pit. The 99 is going to check out. The 29 is going to slow down. They get down pit road clean. They're 2 and 3 wide, but they're there. Green flag stops underway with 11 to go. Sean Stevens is going to stay out. So did Carl Lingle and Chase Greer. They're not going to be lined up, so they're not going to gain a ton of time. But Chris Akers, we're waiting for things to cycle out here. Everybody, oh wow, big Galaba trucks. A huge pack is going to be racing off of pit road, led by the 29. The 7's right there, Duvedak and the 99. It is going to be a madhouse race to the end here. Eddie Morris, Kirby Caputo's right there as well. And it looks like those last 3 trucks are going to hit pit road. That's Sean Stevens, Carl Lingle, and Chase Greer. If you're not going to come down with the leaders, probably that was the right move to make. Hopefully this big pack is not up to speed by the time you exit. But it's going to be close. In the meantime, Weber's glued to the bumper of the 99. Here comes Daniel Holloway. He's pushing Kirby Caputo on the outside. What a run that outside group has got. They are going to get clear of the 29 by a ton of speed. What does Caputo do? Does he keep and get Holloway clear? Here comes the 99. This is going to be the race for the win right here with 10 to go at Daytona. Perfectly executed green flag stops. Holloway, he's moved down. The Holloway 21-29 train is together, and boy, this field's in trouble. The 7 backed up against him, but here comes the 21 with a head of steam, and that's going to leave Greer and Stevens kind of like sitting ducks. They're going to latch onto this train here, but it's going to be a long road to hoe here if you're going to try to win tonight. You've only got 9 laps to get caught back up to speed and get to the front with the 29 and the 21 dominating on that bottom line. So outside of those 2 together, it's Dalton Gibbs and Kirby Caputo, Will Duvedak, Will Weber, Eddie Morris, Chase Greer, Sean Stevens, and Joseph Fogg, your top 10. 9 laps remaining here at Daytona. Green flag stops in the books. Now that outside line being led by the 99. I believe he's got Weber with him. Greer's going to move up. Now that outside line starting to form. Who's going to get up there and get clear of the 21? Now, all of a sudden, that inside line don't look as organized. And here comes the top side. Oh, the big move up. That's the 29. He's going to move up, try to block that outside run just a little bit and slow him down. The 21, the 29 controlling both lanes as they roll into turn one. That's a lap down truck into the wall. Going to get out of the way there of the leaders. And there goes Dalton Gibson in the 7 truck. That was a pretty aggressive move out of that driver as well. He's going to move to the high side now. That's going to separate the 29 and the 21 just a little bit. And here's Kirby Caputo on the bumper of the 21. By the way, Sean Stevens pit with that second group. Now back up to the 3rd spot on that inside row. He has pushed everybody that's led tonight at one point or another. Does anybody return the favor when it matters most? An 11 truck lead pack here. As they're coming down the backstretch, 7 laps remaining. Whose race is it going to be? The 7 truck. Got a big push. Oh! The 7 truck went to the apron. Got real loose. He's going to collect the 29 and the 21. The 9's not going to get checked up. Oh, no. The 7 truck's going to wreck most of the leaders. Not what you want to see there as Chris Akers still has that 29 out of control. We see Duvidek back there sideways. Oh, no. That is not going to be a good feeling out of that 7 truck. Let's go see if we can take another look at this from the 7. I believe he got loose down on the apron. Tried to get back up and recover it. That's not the best angle, but just shows the trucks involved there. Let's take a look. One more view here. Right as they come out of turn number 2. Yeah, this was already after the 7 had bid down, and man, that wrecked a lot of fast truck. Eddie Morris managed to squeeze by there, get checked up in time. But this was the pit stop that everybody needed to make it on fuel. But who's going to have damage is going to be the key thing here. And right now, Kirby Caputo is leading Daniel Holloway in what I believe is going to be a pretty wrecked truck here. So we're going to see a couple others come down pit road. That's Chris Akers, and Chris has probably got some optionals he wants to try to take care of. I don't know if that 21's got damage or not. Let's see if we can ride on board Kirby Caputo and look in the rear here. What's going on with that 21? Well, no, it looks like the 21's got a clean nose and some clean fenders. Well, that may be something there. With Sean Stevens sitting 3rd. Will Weber, Eddie Morris, your top 5. Then it's Greer, Lingle, Braco, Carl, and Smith, your top 10. Braco was way off the pace earlier tonight. Now, currently sitting 8th. What a nice recovery out of the 1. We're going to step aside for what could be the final time. Go back green flag, racing with about 3 to go left in regulation. You're watching turn 1. Gonna go back green flag racing here with 3 laps left in regulation here at Daytona for the American Sim Racing Tour. Playoff race number 3 live on turn 1. This is going to be an interesting battle as they come back to the start-finish line. Got some trucks out there with some damage. We've got teams that are no longer can be partners because of it. That's going to play a factor here. With Kirby Caputo, Daniel Holloway, Sean Stevens, Will Weber, Eddie Morris, your top 5. Pace truck's going to head down pit road. Who's going to be the victor here tonight? We're going to find out. Green flag back out. Morris is going to try to squeeze to the high side. He's going to get there off the nose of Greer. Sean Stevens on the bottom with Caputa. The 21's got Will Weber and Eddie Morris with him on the high line. We've seen that 21 be quick. But as they've got something for him on the bottom. Oh, leaders are going to nearly make contact. Little side drafting, turning into contact there. The 83 trying to hang on the bottom. The 21 losing momentum on the high side. He's only got Weber with him right now. They're going to come down the front stretch. All the 21s all over the place. He's going to make contact with the wall. They're going to try to hold it together. Weaver's going to check up. 2 to go. There goes the outside line. Not a factor here now. The 21 got loose. And everybody had to check up to try to stay in it. Now the 83 and the 27 are hanging on here. But they're going to have some problems. Here comes Greer. Greer on the high side is going to have help from Weber. Here comes Carl Lingle on the bottom to pick up the inside line. As they come down the front stretch, they're going to see the white flag. Greer with a huge run off the bumper of Weber. White flag is out one more time around here at Daytona. That outside line, all of a sudden dominant. It's Greer, Weber, and Morris. Can another run materialize out there? On that high line, led by Braco. Here comes Eddie Morris on the high line. He's going to move off the bottom. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch. The outside lane's got momentum. Can Weber and Greer hold him off? Oh, the 8's loose. The 8 is really loose. Now Weber's going to move in behind the 40. Caputa's going to be on the outside. But it's going to be Chase Greer, your checkered flag winner here tonight. What a wild move. Greer out front when it mattered most. Will Weber, Carl Lingle. I show the top 3. With Dalton Gibson, Kirby Caputa, Eddie Morris, Jeff Carl, Sean Stevens, Guy Braco, Rob Dubadek, your top 10. Playoff race number 3 in the books, and the number 40. Going to bring home the checkered flag. We're going to step aside for just a moment, get ready to bring you some post-race coverage. You're watching Turn 1. Another wild night of racing in the books here with the American Sim Racing Tour right here on turn 1. What a wild run there at the end as well. Grand green flag there for the last 4 laps, and had a little bit of a green flag run right before that as well. So really exciting to see. Just waiting for a race winner to head on up to the waiting room really quick. We'll get some post-race done and we'll hop out of here. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight on turn 1. Let's talk to, I believe we've got second place Will Weber with us now. Will, congratulations.
Oh, cool, gang.
Congratulations on that second place finish there. Talk me through what was going on up there at the front towards the end.
Mass chaos. No other way to describe it, really.
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously not the finish you were looking for there, but it looks like you kind of hopped behind Greer. Did you feel like you didn't have a run there to do anything with it to maybe get the lead?
Yeah, I've even earlier this season, I had opportunities like that where I tried to make a move, and everybody's trying to gain every single position. Normally the top 5 are all somehow thinking they're going to win the race. It just never works out. So I just figured push Chase to the win, get a solid second place, and let's just move on.
Will Weber, a little frustrated, but we're going to bring home a P2 here tonight. Will, congratulations on that finish.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And with that, we'll talk to Chase Greer really quick. Chase, congratulations on that victory. Obviously that was a hard fight throughout the entire race. Did you feel like you were going to be there at the very end, knowing you were up front most of the night?
I mean, I was hoping Chris and Daniel would be up there too, since I accidentally made contact with them earlier. But I felt pretty good. I was just after that happened, I was just trying to relax and chill out in the middle of the field. But glad it worked out. Thanks, Will, for sticking with me there. I don't know if he meant to, but didn't seem to get a run. But exciting. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, Chase, and with that, you looked pretty strong most of the night tonight, electing to run up front. Did that, obviously, you with these super speedway races, you've got to make a choice, run to the rear or run to the front. Is that just the best call here at Daytona with these trucks, to try to be up front and stay out of the danger zone?
I'm usually safe, stay in the middle towards the back, but I was 33 points down in the championship, so I needed to get some stage points. I was trying to be more aggressive with a 4th place qualifying. I was just trying to stay near the front. I think I was mostly up there until I got spun out of the lead, and then I was somehow just slowly make my way up to the front and try to stay there till the end.
Well, you stayed there to the end and finished where it mattered most, bringing home the victory here tonight. Chase, congratulations.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
And with that, I think we're going to wrap up race coverage unless we get Carl Lingle up here in the next moment. But tomorrow night, we're going to kick off the Downforce Racing Series right here on Turn 1. Our normal time, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Turn 1. I appreciate them signing on. We'll talk more about their schedule and race format here tomorrow night. And then next week, we move on to Talladega in the Xfinity car for the American Sim Racing Tour right here on Turn 1 and playoff race number 4. We'll also take a hard look at the points and see who's going to have to bring home a checker flag to maybe be there at the championship, and who's going to try to skate in on points alone. It's been a competitive season, and it's slowly coming to an end here with American Sim Racing Tour, but there's got some exciting racing to get there between now and then. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you tomorrow night for the Downforce Racing Series right here on